Some people think, I don't need to see that.
I pass.
All right. See what says.
Yeah, I agree.
What I thought about doing. I still keep coming. And I don't know if I want to start. I could just do holiday.
That's exactly what we're doing. We're doing the ride and that's 8 days of what we're doing. And then we're off at either one. So what happens if you go from the north to the south or south to the north?
Yeah.
We depend on and then we'll do it. But I'm thinking we'll go to the south, basically, so we'll go south where the north. And so,
I've seen pictures of this.
yeah, yeah.
That's gorgeous. Especially holiday time. It doesn't have to be pictures.
And we're there. One of the guys that's employing us, his daughter last year at South, in October. So stopping off with her, head north. We're going to do the whirlwind and hopefully it's done. Let's go, bro. Oh, okay. Really? Wow. Raised on the island, huh? Okie dokie.
Water off the,
Yeah. Fantastic shape, huh?
All right, hey, good evening, everyone. Welcome here to Keystone Point. First evening. All right, glad you're here tonight. My name is Ron. If you have any issues during the sale, let me know. I'll get you back on track. All right. Do keep in mind everything we auction is sold in this as is condition. After the day we came in on lien sale paperwork. All right. And we do not guarantee the make the model of the year, the color, or anything else. So what you see is what you get. That's all we have inspection time. For the command, you look at the vehicles and make an informed decision as to how much you want to pay. All right, as far as payment goes, talking about payment, we can take cash. They will take Mastercards, Visa, and debit cards, as long as those cards or in your name, the registered bidder. Okay, that's confident for that one. Okay, we'll give you issue. Come back tomorrow morning between the hours of 8 and 12, 8 and 12 a.m. tomorrow. And, we'll release vehicles, online people, you can come in tomorrow and leave it up, start paying. And you'll get the flow in to get your cars out as well, okay? Let's see here, I don't think we have any 10-day holds today, so we should be good to go, everything should go out the door tonight. I think I should have filled the juice or don't, if I forgot something, we'll fix it as we go along here. All right, guys, looks like number one is a motorcycle, 2018, YCFR3 model there, somebody get about 500. We'll get $500. I got five, two, 275, not three. How about three? You're gonna get 300. How about three? Get another 300. You're gonna get 300 here, and we sold it. 275. It's already gone. It's already gone. Sold it. 275. Online. Okay, number two is Scion TC1. All right, guys, here it is. To go back to transfer to the right, stop the title here. That was right. Hey, we got 800. How about they get about three got a quarter half. I got a half of 75 over 400 really four where? I got a quarter and a half and 75. And now five and a quarter and a half. I got 75. 75 six and a quarter. And a quarter using that six and a quarter need a half. How about a half? That's 75. You both up. Now about 675. Now about 675, 75, we sold it online for 650, 650. Okay, number three, here comes number three. Tim, Eric, Tim is there. All right, here comes down to the right, next to the how about seven, two and a quarter, two and a quarter, half, 75. How about 75? We're gonna go 75, no three, no quarter, no half, 75, four, 100, no quarter, and a half, and five. Now, about five, no half, no six, no half, no seven, no half. Give me that. 7.5, you seven, 7.5. Now eat. I have to eat, no half, 8.5, 8.50, no nine, you gotta go nine. I have nine, no half. And now a house. And I found the well, 9.5 o'clock. 9.75. Now a thousand, now a quarter. How about 10 and a quarter? 10 here, need a quarter, and a quarter, and a quarter down here. Yes, no, and solar can right here. Thousand Evon, we'll put them on there to us. Come on, guys, let's go. 142, 142. All right, there is one of these. As soon as need to come up. Okay. There you go. All right, number four is a 2014 Chevy Volt. Match they go run now. Time to go. We gotta go five here, five, three. They're gonna call their high 75 four. How about four? We're gonna go 400. How about four and a quarter and a quarter? Where four is over here. How about five and a quarter and a quarter and a quarter and a half. Each time a quarter, 75. Now six. How about six and a quarter. How about quarter? 600. Six and a quarter. Six and a quarter. Six. You guys together? You're not together. I got seven here. Need a quarter? How about seven and a quarter and a quarter and a half? 775. 75 each, one each, okay, and a quarter, and a quarter, and a half, 8.5, 850, 75, 875, 9, and a quarter. You said that 9 here, and a quarter, now half, 9.5, 9 a quarter here. How about 950, 50, 950, 950, and we sold it for 925 online, 925, number five. Here we go with another six, we go for Mustang car. All right, that will be at about. Hey, here we go, who put about one? How about down to go, five to go. How about five, three and a half. I got 350, 50, double stick card, 3.5, not four, not half, not five, not half, and six. How about 600? You saw 5.5, six. How about six, 75, no six, not quarter, not half. And 75, we go 75, look at me, not your phone. 75, seven, not quarter, now half, and 75, eight. 800 and a quarter, no half, 75, no 9 and a quarter, no half. Not a half, not a quarter, not a half, thousand, no half. And now 11, no half, not long, and 13, 13, no half, 14, no half. How about 1450, 14. How about 1450, gotta go 50, 50, quarter, no half. Return. 1450, 14 a quarter, 1450, 50, 52, and 75. How about 75? How about 75, 15? How about 15? Gonna go 15, money's 1475. I got 15, that's half. How about a half? $50 poker table. 15 out of 50, 15 out of 50, 15 out of 50. He says, no, I say, sold at 1500 online, number 6. There comes a 25. Maybe got a house over back. Straight to the right, also, we get a feature. Look at me, thousand, look at 5. How about $500? 6. How about 6, 7? How about 7, 8, 9? How about 9? And 1,000, and 11, and 12, 13, 14, 15. How about 15? 14, 15. How about 15? They're gonna give me 15 over here, 16, 17. How about 17? Money 16, 17, 18, 19. How about 19? I have 18 right here. I need 19 over here, no 2, 2 and no 1, no 2, no 3. I'm about 23, you gotta go 300, 3, 4, 4, 5. I'm about 25, you gotta go 500, right here, no 6. And 7, I'm about 27, 27, each 26 over here, 27 here, 28, 29. I'm about 9, you said no last time. I'm about 29, give me half, no 9. I get 9, you gotta go 9. I'm about 29, now 10, and 3. I'm about 3, now 1, now 2, 32, 31 on site, 32 on mine, 33, 33, 34. How about 34? We're on site at 33, I need 4. How about 34? I'm gonna go 400 and we solar time. 3,300 right there. The doorway, that's upside down. 16 miles, 16 miles. There's something like this, like 110, they get runs, automatic straight over right. Also, $80 feature, it will be in around 1,000. At that time, I'm gonna go grab a Honda car, 5 of a Honda car. I got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,000, 11, 12, and 13. How about 13, 13, 13, you swap. How about 13, 14, 15? How about 15, minus 14, I need 15. How about 15, yeah, how about 14 out of 50, 50, 14 out of 50, and I swing over there. At 1400, number 16, the buyer. Item number 8. Item number 8 is the 115, pressure 200, 400 grams, figure 5, 2,000. I got that with real here, $500, that price. I'm a comment there, $500. He said, I'm free, 3.5, I'll take 4. How about 4? We're gonna go 400, 75, 4. And a quarter, and a half, 75, not 5. And a quarter, and a half. That's 6, and a half, and 7, and a half, and 8, and a half, and 9, and a half, and a 1,000, and a half. 11, 11, each 10 and a half, I'm not 11, 75, now there. How about 11, 10, 75, 11. How about 11, 11, they gotta give me 11, we gotta go 11, I'm not quarter. And a quarter, here, 11 right here. How about 11, a quarter, and a quarter, and a quarter down here, we're going to, now half, and a half, and 75, 75, now 12, and a quarter, and a half, 12 and a half, 75, 13. How about 13, and a half, give me half. I got a half, now 14. How about 14 and a half, 14 and a half, and now 15. How about 15, 15. How about 15, you gotta go 15, 15, now half. I got a half, 16. How about 16, your turn again. How about 16, gotta be 16, 16, and now half. How about half, 16 out of 50. There you go. 16 out of 50, 50 here, and 50 here, and I sold it over here for 1,600. And let's see there. Just what's your number here? Number 181, 181. All right, number 9, this is all three, take that Carol, automatic, straight to the line, 9. I'm at 9 o'clock, 3 quarter, half. I got a half of 75. I'm at 75, it was 75, 375. Now 4, so 4, and now a quarter. Quarter, half, 75. I'm at 75, 5. I'm at 5, come out, minus 4, 75, 5, now quarter. And now, and you have, I'm gonna have 75. I'm at 75, I'm gonna have over here. I have 75, plus 6, and a quarter. I'm a quarter and a quarter, 600, 6 and a quarter and a quarter and a half. I got a half, you want a half? That's 75. I'm a 75, 7. I'm a 7 and a quarter and a half, 7 and a half. I'm a half, 750, 740 here, 7 and a half. And now 75. And now 8, and now a quarter. And a quarter, and now a half. 8 and a half, now 75. 8, 75, 8 and a half. 875, 875, 875, right here, and 9, up at 9, what about that? That quarter? Yeah, that quarter. Come on, give me quarter, he's 9, up at behind the quarter, and the quarter down here, now half, I can do simple. 9 a quarter, 9 and a half, 75, your turn, 975, don't miss your turn. 975, and we sold him over here. At 950, 950, number 182, 182 is and if you know 173 is 5. Next order automatic, straight on line. Now about time to go, time to go. Go get $500 an hour. How about 5, we got 500, no 5, 3, 3.5. 5.5, 4. 75. No 4, no half, no 5, no half, no 6, and a half, and 7. Now about 7, not half. Now we need 800, now we need 7.5 here. I need 8. How about 8? 75? 75, now 8. 800, not quarter, 825, 825 and a half, 850. 850, 50, and a 75. We're going to go 875, 875. And nothing, you gotta go 9, 900. How about 9, 9 quarter, you gotta go only 5, he's 9. 9 quarter, so yes, okay. And now we'll have 950. And now 75, we gotta go 975. And now 1,000. And 1,000, and 1,000, and now a quarter. How about quarter? How about 10 to quarter, and a quarter, and a quarter, and then 1 here, 1 and 2. You guys say? No? Solar time. All right, 1,000 even. 1,000 even, no, which number you got? 197, you got 197, all right, come on, please. All right, number 11, there's another 2, super report, you guys. Let's see. 4 about automatic, straight of the line, 2 about 9. He said 3, wow. How about 3.5? How about 3.5? How 4? And 4, I got half right there, I need 4. How about 4? 75, he says, now 4, now 4. And a quarter? That's 75, now 5, now quarter. And a quarter, now 5, 75, now 6. How about 6? 600, now quarter, 6 and a quarter. And a half, now 75, and 7, now quarter. And a quarter, 7 quarters, 7 and a half, 75, and 8, and a quarter, and a half, 75. 875, now 9, I have 9, and a quarter. How about quarter? I'll get 9 there, quarter here, and a half, 9 and a half. How about 15 or $75,000 and 1,000 go, 975, second row. How about 1,000 go, 1,000 go, $1,000 here, we have a quarter, and a half, 75, 75, no 11 and a quarter. How about quarter, guys? He's 11 here. How about 11 and a quarter, quarter, no half, no 75. How about 74, 12, 100 and a quarter, and now a half, no 75, and 13 and a quarter. And a quarter, no half, no 75, 14 and a quarter, and a half, no 75, 15, no half, you need half. Come on now, I got 15, 15 out of 50, 15 out of 50, and I, right there, 16, no half. And look up here, 16 and a half, no? Solar time, for 1,600, 141, and he's gonna come. And another 12, 875. I ran it on 400, satisfied about it, so it's stretching my neck. I didn't what do you say here, 2 to 4. How about 2 1/4, 3, 3 1/4, a half. I got a half, 75. How about 75, 375, 400. How about 4, I got 1/4, 3 1/4, I got 4 on mine, 4.5. How about I have no 75, I'm gonna go 75, money's 4.5. 475. 475, where you go? Nope, so that's 450 online, 450 online. The 13, there's another one on the floor. For the next day, right here, 800. How about they get another, they get a quarter. How about they get a quarter, here's the money. How about they get a quarter, 3.5, 75, and 4. How about 4, 375, 4 1/4, and no 75. How about 75, 500, not 4. And the quarter goes back to 5 1/4, online, no half. No 75. How about 75? We gotta go by 75. How about 575? 575. 6. How about 6? 575 over here. How about 600? You're gonna do 600, 600. Yeah, so you wanna do 6? Not 4. How about 4? We got 6 outside. 6 1/4. How about 6 1/4? And a quarter down here, like silver tank. $600, and its my number is. The 161, please, right? And here's number 14. There you go, up to that mustache. Give me 8. How about they get a much? Maybe they get a much, they get 4. How about they get 4, they get a half, 50. How about 15, they go 50, 50, 350, 3 How about they get a 15, no, so, that's, we get a quarter, number 6, and then you here's number 15. Hey, here we go. Some other automatic, Sounds 4, 5. How about 5? We go. I got 4, 4.5. I got a half on the 5, then on the half. How about a half? I got a half on the 6, now a half, now 7. How about 7? Where you 7, maybe 7, 75. Now 7, not 4. How about 4? Outside it's 7. 7 1/4. How about 7 1/4 here? We have half 75 and 8. How about 8 here? 8. How about 8? 800 1/4, 825. Right outside of 8. I get 8. Hey, a little slow, a little slow. 8.5, 75. How about 75? Computer's a little slow there for some reason. 8.5, 875. 8, 75, 75, 9, 9 How about 4 guys? 9 over here. How about 9 over here? 4 gets slowly. Silver time. 900, number 8, 900 pounds. Number 16, 607. 16? Where'd he go? Hey, I forget what his name is. Number 16? Hey, say it again. John, right there. Can you get him? Yeah. We need him to come up. You gotta come pay. They're looking for you. All right. Here we go. See the guy, see the big guy right there? There you go. All right, here we go. There's an 0675 Ford automatic steady line, satisfied. Hey, what do you say? How much? How much? I got 3.5, 4. You want 4? 4? No, huh? Got a half, not 5. How about 5? No half, how about a half? That's 6. How about 6? Should it be 6? How about 75? That's 6. How about 6? Money's fine, 75. 6. How about 600? Gotta be 600, 600, right? Here now, quarter. And a quarter? Yeah, 8, 6 1/4. 6 1/4? How about 6 1/4? No half. And a half, no 75, no 7. How about 7? No 7. You're 675. 7. How about 7 right down here? No quarter and a half. And a half. 7.5. So this is what? How about 750, left 50, left 50, 9, no 75. 75. 75. Got your both back. How about 775? And we have 800. Not 8, not 4. 825. You got like old ladies. 825. 825. 800 here. How about an 825, and we have sold it back for 800 at 800. Then let's see, 1700. You said number 20, all right, number 20, all right, here's number 17. You got it. All right, order about a minute, what do we do here on the desk, guys? Give me a line. Don't, look scratch. How about mine? For sure. This should look out okay, don't worry about it. I got three, look at the card. Three and a half. I got 350 here, so we're trying 325, number 6 is one, right? Here's number 18, has a note for you, after your 3.2. Let's see, $80 a piece right here, guys, right? Order automatic, so those one, give you about 9. How about 9? Oh, we have. I got three, regular quarter. How about regular quarter, no half? 89, 75, not 4, not 4. And a quarter, and a quarter, and I got 4 on the side. How about 4.5? Now 75. You got a half on my, okay. 75, now 5, 5, not quarter. How about 5 and a quarter, 5 over here. How about 5 and a quarter, okay, and a half, now 75, that's 75. 5 and a half up here. 575, 575, 575, and I sold it back. 550 online, 550 online, okay? All right, guys, so you guys on your phones here, you kind of like your own worst enemies, you know? But you do what you have to do. All right, here's number 19, number 15, we for another line, sugar line, Southern title, what do you say, 9? How about 9 to the bucks, 3 and a half, 4. How about 4 here, 475, not 400, and now 400, and now 1 How about 4.5, 450, and the 50, you gotta go 50, 75, you gotta go 475, 4.5, 75, 500, right there, in a quarter, in a half, and a half, 75. I do. How about 75, 75, 600 and a quarter, and a quarter, 605. How about 6 and a quarter, and a quarter, a quarter, yes, a quarter, that's 75. How about 75, 675, come on, people, let's go. How about 675, we're gonna go 675, and we have, no 7, a quarter, and a quarter, we're on the side at 7, so a quarter. And then we'll have, and a 75, how about 75, we're gonna go 75. And now eat, 800, now eat, why not? I'm not being here, 800, at 10, or 80 here, 80 and 90. So, 775 online, okay? Here's number 20, here comes an 05, here's got a house of faith. For a minute, so everybody guys, I get about 600, 600. 680, they're gonna quarter. How about they're gonna quarter, 3 over here, they're gonna quarter and a half, 75, 4 and a quarter, and a half, 75. Are you ready? 75 pounds, 500 and a quarter, and a half. How about 5.5? Now 75, now 6. How about 600 and a quarter, 645? How about 645? 645. Is that a yes? A quarter? Now half. How about a half? Now 75, 675. How about 75? Money, 6.5. 675, we're gonna go 75, and we have solar bag for 6.5, look at on number 8, 6.5, number 8, 21 is an old college. Hey, you gotta be the record spot. How about that? For our money returns, so the right, that card, you know, over 1,000, now 11, now about 11, 10, 11, half, a quarter, half. How about half? No, so 10 and a quarter, online, it's already gone. So 10 and a quarter, online, 5, it's already gone. Gotta wake up. Options tonight, not tomorrow. And here we go, here's 742. Hey, 22, hey, hold on, how about the chairs? Hey, 125 with the key charge, that will be added on. And it goes from, who got a time? I got down to go here, but then we found it, I got about 6. And a half, 7 and a half, and 8 and a half, and 9. No, be careful. 8 and a half, 9. I've got 9, now half, now 1,000, and now a half, and now 11, and now a half, and 12. I've got 12, 12 here, need a half, 12 and a half, 13, 13, now half, now half, 14, now half, 14 and a half, I got 14, so this, 15. How about 15? Come on, give me 15, 15. 15. Good, 75, now 15. 15, easy. And now a half. And now a half. And now 16. How about 16? This is 16. And now a half. How about a half? 17. How about 17? You're going to go 17, no half. 17, 50. And then 15, you're going to go 15, now 18. Now 18. Now 18, no half. 18, 15, 19, 19. How about 19? No half. And a half. No. I got 19 here. How about 19 out of the 15, the 15, the 15 here, we have, not you, not you. And to reduce nothing, 19 and a half, 2 grand, now half, now 21, 21, 21, 20, 50 back there. How about 21, but another 21, but another 2, are you ready? 21, now, and now 2, how about 22? How about 22, you're gonna get 2, now, how about now 3, how about 23, now 4, how about 24, you're gonna go 400, now, how about 24, now, 25, 25, now, how about that, your turn, 25 and a half, you sure? 25 and a half, I'm gonna, silver tank, for 28, 500, 28, 1,38 years of life, he's on his way up there now. Here's number 23 and 100. Good on. And what up, please, okay? Right on the MasterCard. Order automatic sugar line, give me 9. He said 3, take it a quarter, take it a half. I got a half, 75 4. No, what 4? How about 4? Honestly, said a quarter and a half and 5. How about 75? Not 5. How about 5? Can I get another here for the whole car? 5, not 4. And a quarter, 5, a quarter, 5 and a half. That's 75. How about 75? You know, 6, and a quarter. And a quarter, and a half, 6 and a half, 75. How about 75, 7 and a quarter. And a quarter, you need a quarter, guys. How about 7 and a quarter? How about 7 and a quarter and a quarter here, and we have silver thing, 700, number 39, is that right? 39, the back page, and 39 is, right here, something, 4, right? 400 grand cents, so it's strapped right here in the front. Not bad. Hey, there you go, what about 900, that's 9, 3, 3 and a half, 4. How about 4 here, 4, 375, not 4. 4 and a half, 5, and a half, and not 6. Number 6, number 6, and now a half, and 7. Number 7, 6 and a half, 75, now 7, now 4. And a quarter guy, 7 quarters, half, 75. How about 75? And now 8, and a quarter. And a piece and a bit here, a quarter here, a half, that's 75. 8, 75, now 9, 9, a quarter. And a quarter, need a quarter, now a half, 75, 1,000. And 1,000, now half, now 11. How about 11? Need 11, now half, 11 and a half, 12. How about 12? Need 12, and a half, 12 and a half, 13. How about 13? 12 and a half over here. How about 13? 75, 13 and a quarter. And a quarter, out of 13 a quarter, 13 and a half. How about 13 and a half? And that's 75. How about 75? I have outside over here, yes, sir. And the 75, 14, the quarter. And the quarter down, so I got 14 there, need a quarter. How about 14, the quarter, and the quarter down here, we have silver time. 1400, number 8 is liar, right? Here's number 25, it's Mercedes, D350 model, for automatic, so the line, how about that, okay, how about, I did it, right, 5, wait, a quarter, half, give me half, half, this is what, half, 75 4, and a quarter, goes over here, 4 and a half, now 5, now half. How about 5 and a half? I have 5 on site. How about 5 and a half? 550, and the 50 quarter, no, 75. How about 75, 6, 600 and a quarter, and a quarter, you both up. 6 and a quarter, 6 and a half. How about 650, we're going to go 50, 50, 650, no 75. How about 75, you woke up at 6.5. 675, 700 and a quarter. How about 7 quarter, 7 here, you need a quarter. A quarter, no high, no 75. 775. 775, there. How about 75 at my solar tank for 750, number 10 is my way. Here's number 27. Right. Hey, so good number. I think we're going to say. Hey, it runs 400 minutes. Right. Hey, it's 700. How about 7? Lay up 3, 3.5, 4.5, and 5. How about 5 there, 4 and a half, back and 5 and a half, and then 6 and a half, and 7 and a half, and 8 and a half, and 9 and a half, 1,000 and a half, 11 and a half, not 12 and a half, 12 and a half. If you want to do it, put your hand up. 12 and a half, 13. How about 13? 12 and a half here, I need 13. How about 13? Now half. How about a half? Like 13 over here. How about 13? How about 15? How about 50 there, right there, 14. I got 14. Now half. How about a half? Now 15. Now half. 15 half. 15 half. I got 15 like these. Is that yes? Okay. 16. And now 16 and a half. 16, 50, 16 over here. How about 16? How about 15? You're gonna go 50, 50, 50, and I solar thing. 1600, right? And let's see. What's the number? Let me see your number. 23 divided, 23 divided. Okay, I need you to stand up and come on up. Here's number 47, 111, 4, that's it. There you go, guys. Got the third bone, not a damage, to the line, 1,000. We're gonna get there anyways. 1,011. How about 11 here? Down where? Each hand, take 11. How about 11 here? Now 11. 11. What's it? How about 11 and a half? A quarter. Half. 75. Not 12. How about 12 and a quarter? And a half. How about 12 and a half? And now 75. And now 13. How about 13? You're going to get 1,300. How about 13 and a quarter? And a half. Give me half again. How about a half? That's 75. 14. How about 14? Come on, people. Let's go. How about 14 and a quarter? Quarter. Now half. And a half. 14 and a quarter. Half. How about 15? Now half. And a half. I got 15 over here. Got a half here. 16. You 6. No. 15 and a half here. 16. How about 16? You got 16? No.
I got half.
No, 17. Oh, you guys are wrong. 17. How about 17? You're going to go 17 and we sold in here. For 1650 and okay. All right, here's number 28. That's a 11 miles to CX7. All right, give me 1,000. Well, how about start? How about 5, 8, 5, 500 bucks, you want 5? Wake up, folks, wake up. How about 5, 5, 3, 3 and a quarter, 3 and a half, 75. How about 75? Each 3 and a half.
4.
I got 4 and a half, 5. I got 5 and a half. How about 5 and a half? 5 over here. How about 50, 50, 50, 50 quarters? How about 5 and a quarter, now half? That's 75, no 6, no quarter. And a quarter, 600. How about 6 and a quarter? How about 6 and a quarter? 6 and a quarter, 6 and a quarter. Here we have solar panel for 600. Number 8 is my right here. All right, here we go. 0, 3, 30. I got time to go. Time to go. He said, 75, 4. And 5 and a half. And 6. How about 600? It'll be 600 now half. How about half here? 7. It'll go 7 here now half. How about half? Now 8. I got 8. Are you ready? Okay, keep raising your hand. 75, 8. How about 8? How much? Yeah, 775, 8. No? Solar, 775, online, okay. Because I know it's hot, you're trying to fan yourself and everything, but you see it like that, I'm gonna take that as a yes, be careful, okay? All right, there we go, number 30, time over 6, forward focus tire. All right, quarter of automatic, and what do you say on that one? 800, 800. He says, well, you take it a quarter, take it a half. Aha, what does he want that? No, 75. I got 3.5 here. 375, I'm gonna go 375, 375, and then you have sort of that. 350, number 8, 350, number 8. 31, 710. It's a humble inside, eh? For the automatic, so we run, then it goes home, we go down to we're gonna have 4.5, 5.5, and 6, let's see, 8.5, 7.5, and 8.5, 850, and 1 we're gonna make $100 and a half, 1,000, 1,000, 8.5 on the line. Take 1,000, how about 975, 975, 975, $1,000. And I found the room, yes, sir, right there, 975, 1,000. And 1,000, a quarter, I got 10 up here. How about 10 and a quarter? Is that a yes? Quarter, huh? I got a quarter here, guys. How about 1,050? And 1,050, 150 here, 1,050 on my solar tank. 1,025, 185 is the buy. And he's gonna come on up, okay? Come on up, come on up. All right, it's number 33, 3,000, how do you keep up? Come on up. They're doing tell me. Is he good? Ask his son. Okay, well, can you ask his son if that guy should buy a 185?
Where's he at?
He's right there, next to Eric.
Come over here, sir. Look up, man. They want you to come up and pay.
Necesitas que pagar.
Okay, on the 32, 2,000, howdy, TT Mall. Two remaining turns, what do you say, 9? How about 9 bucks, 5 bucks? How about 5 to your time, 3, 3 and a quarter, right? What's that? You got 2.5. Not yet. 275? 275? How about 275? No, so that's 250, number 6. 250, number 6. All right, here's number 23. That's only 27. All right, forward automatic, okay, what do you say? Okay, what about, right there. How about 1,000 bucks, 500 bucks, 3 and a quarter? A quarter? How about 3 and a quarter? 3, you say you're 3 and a quarter? And a half, 75 4, 400 before. How about 4? 3, 75 4, and a quarter. And a half, 4 and a half, 1 is 4 and a quarter. How about 450? No, 75. How about 75 5, a quarter, 525, highest bid. Uh-huh, 75, and 6, and a quarter. And a quarter, 6 a quarter. How about 6 a quarter, 3, 100, 75, or 7. How about 7, 675, 7 and a quarter. And a quarter, 7 here, quarter, now half. How about 7 and a half, 75. How about 75, 75, 800, now E. And the E, 800, around 800 and a quarter, 850. How about 850, 850, 850, guys, yes, no? And that's 75, 9. How about 9, gotta go 9. How about 900, be 9. How about 9 and a quarter, 9.5, that's bid, quarter, half. How about 9 and a half, 9 and a quarter, 9 and a half. How about a half, 850, 75, 175,000. And 1,000, 1,000, what do you say? That's an easy fix, that's a quarter. We could start in a couple hours. And a half. How about a half, 10 and a quarter, 10 and a half. How about a half, 75, I got it. How about 11, what do you say? How about 1100, 11 and a quarter, see? I told you it's an easy fix. How about 11 and a quarter, half, 75, 5. And a quarter, half, 75, 13. How about 13? How about 13? You need something to do with your time. How about 13 and a quarter? And a half, give me half. How about 1350? What do you say? 1350, give me 14. How about 14? Come on, guys. 14. And a quarter. And a quarter, and a half. 14 and a half. I got no place to go. No 75. 75, 15, no, half, 16. But 16, you're gonna be 16, what do you say? 16 and a half, 17, you're gonna go 1700. But 17, you're gonna go 17, yes, no, and no, half. 18, about 18, but here's really getting more now. About 18, 18 and a half, 19. How about 19? Money's 18 and a half, take 19. No, so time. 1850, I have to get a fresh year. Right, here we got number 34, 2000, maybe the house. All right, there you go, guys. You're going to have a chance to go on. That's what's up. How about 5? He says 3, they're going to call. How about they're going to call, they're going to call, they're going to know how? I got to have to send it from 400 number. How about 4 and a quarter and a half, that's 75. How about 75, 4 and a half, 75, 5, and a quarter. And a quarter, 5 is money, 5 and a quarter. How about 5 and a quarter, 5.25 and a half, 75. How about 75, gonna go 75. And 6. How about 600? How about 600? Maybe you guys are getting like old ladies again. How about 600? No. So, at 575 online, okay? All right, here's number 35, 1703. All right, for other connections, they can give you about how much? Hey, look, all that good stuff too. How about $1,000? Me? 11. How about 11 here, 11, piece of 1,000, 11 here, give me half. No 11, no half. How about a half? Half, no 12, no half. 13 and a half, 14 and a half, 14 and a half, on a half, no 15. How about 15, no half, 16, 16, no half. How about a half, 16, 50, and 17, and now 50, and 18, 18, the ocean, 18, no half, 19, and a half, you got it. How about 2, no half, no 1, 21, 21, no half, no 2. How about 22, you're gonna get 2200, 22, no half, no 3. How about 23, you're gonna get 23, get another, hey, watch me, I'll watch it. 22 and a half, 23, and a half, now 4, now half. You're back on side of 24. How about 2450, 50, 50, or you 5 and a half, and a half, you're 25, 5 and a half. Guys, you did like old ladies, I don't understand. 25 and a half, 6 and a half, and no 7, 27. How about 27, look at 7, now half, now 8, give me 8, okay, and a half, and 9, give me 9, 29, 20 and a half here, 29, now half, and a half. I got 29 and a half, 3 grand, place me, and a half, 31 grand, I got 3 grand, 31. How about 31? There go 1, 31, 32, 32, 3. How about 33? We're on site 32, 33. How about 33? 33, now 4. How about 34? Now 5, there go 5, 35. 35, 6, 36. Let's see some good stuff in there. I got 35, 36. How about 36? Nope. So, at 3,500 online, 3,500 online, right here, so that says, what? James seems to have, we're going to come, heavy duty truck there, guys, right? There's a lot of that, so they're running, and let's see there. Down to that, guys. 1,000, 5, 6. I have 5, 5 and a half. I got 5 and a half on that one, now 6, you want to be 6, now a half, now 7, now a half. Yeah, 8, now 8, now a half, now 9, there go 9. How about 9 and a half, and 1,000, and a half, and 11, there go 11, 11, 11, he's 10 and a half there, he's left. I got 11, 11 and a half, now 12, now a half. All right, 12 on the side. How about 450, 50, 40, half. How about a half, 12 and a quarter, 12 and a half. How about 450, gonna go 50, 50, 50, and now 75, gonna go 75. You said I can go 82, 12 and a half. How about 475, now 13, do 13, you're gonna go 13, what do you say? How about 13? No? So, for 1275 online. I got a question
Number 9?
182. But,
Got one.
oh, no, no. Where's 182? Buyer 182? Maybe we called the number wrong.
I'm not.
Yeah. Did you get the same as me?
I have number 9.
Yeah,
Number
number
9. Number 9.
Rebecca, 1 second.
182.
182. Recover maybe we'll have to check it inside, okay? We'll give us a second here. Okay, number 37, there we go, 104, to the Tacoma. To the man, to the road says, $30 key charge, give me
27.
27, it's even better. How about 28, 29, 3 grand, 31, 31, police means yeah, 31. I got 3 grand here, 31. How about 31 online, now 2, 32, 3. How about 33 or 34? How about 34? How about 34? 33 is here, 34. What do you say? How about 34 when we sold it? 3,300 online, all along, okay? All right, here's number 38, 2011. Okay, quarter hard match, sugar right here. You can see that. How about 1,000? How about time to go? 5 to go. You said three, you take it for you. Huh? How about 350, 350, 50, 75, and a quarter? How about 4? Get a 4, 375, 4 and a quarter, 4.5. That's 75.
75.
That's right. 500. That's right. 475. How about 5 and a quarter, 3.5, 5.5. The nickel signal, 550, not 75. How about 75? And no 6, 8 nickels, not quarter. And a quarter, 600, 6 and a quarter, 6 and a half. How about 175? Get to go 675. How about 675? Only 6 and a half. How about 675? Get to go 675, 75, and I sold it for $650. $149 is the money, right? You should come get mine, okay? Here's $39, $50. You're gonna throw the car, $400, straight on the line. How about time to go, where? They go 5, 3, 3 to 40. How about they gotta go to 3, 3 to 43 and a half, 75. Now 4. How about 4? Now 4, 475 and a half. How about a half, 50, now 75. How about 75, 475, and now 5, 500. How about 5, and now 5 and a quarter. How about 5 and a quarter, 5 and a quarter, 5 and a half. What do you go? How about 5 and a half? You're up. 5 and a half, 5 and a quarter. How about 550, 50, 50, not 75, I'm gonna go 75. How about 75? So you have to see what, 75. 575, no, send my money. 550, 550, okay, here's number 4, there's another one, here. One time. And then the time, you have to teach us, which will be all on, okay? Let's see, put our lunch, put it on here, what do you say here? Hey, who got a balance? Who get 5? 5? 5 and about, 3, 3 and a half, 4 and a half. How about 5? How about 5? 75, 5. 5, not quarter. You got 5?
5 and a quarter.
Quarter, 5 and a half. 75. Those 75, 6. How about 600? You're gonna be 605, 75 here. How about 6? How about 600 and we sold it 10? All right, 75 and number 10, all right? Here's number 41, 119. Hey, at least I'm pushing. All right, 45, that's the time. We got a guy, so you're be home soon. How about 1,000 over here? How about 500 bucks? 500 bucks, $600. How about 6, 5, 6, 7.5? Quarter. Now half, that's 75. How about 75? Money's 5.5. Now 75. How about 75? Now 6, now a quarter, now half. How about half? 650, 625. How about 650? We got 50, not 75, no 7. How about 7? Give me 7. How about 7? 675, 7. How about 70, 70, 70, and a quarter, and a half, how about a half, 7.5, how about a half, okay, come on, let's go. How about 7.15, get it up 50, 50, 50, and 75, 75, 75 each. How about each, $800, well, wait, 775 each. How about eight, that buyer, if you want to bid, let's get it up, each, that's all, and a half, 850, 850. Hey, another 50, 50, another 50. So, okay, 825 for number 4, all right, here we go. Here's number 42, number 6, 87, all right, you're up on the match, you're on here, we're going to how about number 5 to go there? You got 5? Number 5 at about, 3 at a quarter. How about 3 at a quarter, and again. How about 3 at a quarter, that's 75. How about 75? Guys, if you want to bid, let's get it on, let's go. 75, 4. Here, 4, and a quarter, and a quarter half. How about 4 and a half, 4 and a quarter, 4 and a half? How about 4 and a half, 75? That's fine. How about 500, you gotta go 5, and a quarter? How about quarter, 5 and a quarter, 500, 5 and a quarter? How about 5 and a quarter, and a quarter here, and now half? How about 5 and a half, half, 75? How about 75? How about 575? 75, 6, look like an old lady. How about 6? How about 6? How about 600? No? So, 75 on 1, okay? I just got the 43, 2010, James, let's get it on. There's yeah, 2, 4, 5. How about 5? He's 4 times, give me half. How about 4 and a half? He's 4, that's it, please. How about quarter? How about 4 and a quarter, and a half, 75, and 5, and a quarter, and a half, and a half, 75, 6. How about 6? 6, and a quarter, and a half, and 75, and 7, and a quarter. How about 7 and a quarter, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 75, and 8. 8 now a quarter, 825, and a half, 850, now 75. 875, 9, a quarter, half, 75. How about 75, now 1,000, now half, now 11. How about 11, what's it? How about 11, 10 and a half here, I need 11. How about 11, 11, here's 75, 11, now quarter. How about quarter, 11's over here, a quarter, now half, and 75. How about 75, not 12, 1,200. How about 12, we're gonna get 12, not quarter. How about 12, not quarter, not half, that's 75, that's 13. How about 13, and a quarter, and a half, 13, 50, and a 50. Come on now, people, let's go. Wow, I don't understand why you like to be late to this, it just blows my mind. 75, 14, and a quarter, and a half, 14 and a quarter, 14 and a half, 75. And 15. How about 15? You gotta go 15 and a half and 16 and a half. How about half? I got 16. 16 and a half, 17 and a half. How about half? 18. 18 and a half. 18 up here. 18 and a half, 19. How about 19? No half, no 2 grand. I got 2, you gotta go 2 grand. And a half. And a half, I got 2,000. 2,050. The old lady's in, that's 2 grand. No, so $2,000 online, okay? 44, 2,000, that's the BCT monkey. What automatic, so we're going to do about 5. Wait, we got a quarter. How about 3 and a quarter? 3 is a quarter, 3 and a half. How about 15? You gotta go 50, 50, 350, 350, 50, 75, 4. And a quarter. And a quarter, 4 and a quarter. How about 4 and a quarter, half, 75, we're gonna go 475. How about 475, and 475, and we sold it then, 450 on, right, number 45 and 05. Return status, 1,000. How about 5? How about 5? No 5, he said 3 and a quarter. How about 3 and a quarter, 350. How about 50, 350, 3 and 1/4, 3 and 1/2. How about 350, just know a nice silver pack. 325, number 60, Somalia, number 56, it runs down, $400 manage. How about $800, $400 on that? 4, 3, 3 and 1/2, 4 and 1/2, and 5. I do. 75, not 5, not quarter. And a quarter, and a quarter, and a half, 75. How about 75? How about a half on site? 75, 600. How about 600, and a quarter, and a quarter, and a half, and a half, 6 and a half, 75. How about 75, 7? How about 7, and a quarter? I got 7 up here, a quarter, and a half, 7 and a half. How about a half? Eric, you working or you playing? 7 and 1/2, 75, 8 and a quarter, and a half, 8 and 1/2, 75, 9. How about 9? You're gonna go 900 and a quarter, and a quarter, and a quarter, half. How about 9 and 1/2, and a quarter, and a half, 75,000, and a thousand, and a thousand, and a quarter, and a half. How about a half? Now, so 50, now 75. Now 11. How about 11? And a half. Now 12. How about 12? Give me 12. 75, 12. How about 12? And a quarter. I have 12, 12 and a quarter, and a half, 75. How about 75?
Got 12 and 1/2 over here, there's 75.
13. 13. 13. No, so, 75 online, right? Wow, you guys should, it's unbelievable. All right, here's number 47. There's an 06. That's a heavy duty truck, right? Around here. I think it'd give you about 1,000. 2 gas, actually, everything, 1,000, 11. You get 11? No? 1,000 here, 11, where, half, now 11, now half, and 12. And 10. How about 12 and a half, 13, 13 and a half. How about a half, 14, 14 and a half, 15 and a half, 50, 50, and 16 and a half. How about a half, 16, 15 and a half, 17 and a half. I got a half, now 18 and a half. 19 and a half. 19's over here, 19 and a half and 2 and a half. How about a 15, now 1 and a half. How about a half? How about a half and 2 and a half. How about 22 and a half and a 3 and a half. How about a half? 4 and a half. 24 and a half and 5 and a half. How about a half and 6 and a half and 7 and a half. How about a half again? 27 and a half and now 8 and now a half. How about a half? 9 right here, now half. And a half, that's 31.
What?
32, 33, 33, 34, 35, 35, now 36, now 7, 37, 38, 9, how about 39, 4 grand, 41, how about 41, 2, 42, 42, minus 41, 42, 3, how about that, how about 43, well, I'm saying 42, 43, 44, how about 44, well, I'm minus 43. How about 44 right here, now 5. 46, 46. Hey, we can. 46? No, so that's 4,500 online for 45. Here's number 48. This 06 right there. Insurance, all these type of guys. They get a bus. 3, 3 and a quarter, 3 and a half. How about 3 and a half? I have a quarter here, half here, 75, not 4. Not 4, give me 4, give me 6. How about 4 another? 3 and 75 outside 4. How about 4? You're gonna get 4, and a quarter, and a quarter, and a half. How about a half? 450. And a 15, 450, and we have solar panel, 425, 425, 425. All right, now you run, Sam, let's see that. 80 to 1,000. I'm down to go 5, not 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1,000, 19. How about a half? 19 and a half. And 2 and a half. How about a half? 20, 50. How about 2 times 50, 50, and 50, that's enough on half. How about 21 and a half? 21 here. How about 21 and a half? 21, 50, and 50, and 9. So it's up. 2100. That's what you're looking at. 149. 149. Four for Europe. Administrator runs, title runs on thousand. The thousand over here, 5. You go 5? That's 6. How about 6 there? I got 5 and a bit 6. What do you happen? How about 5 and a half? How about 4? How about a half? How about a half? How about a half? A quarter here and a half, 75. 6 and a quarter and a half and a half. And look at me, that's the phone. 6 and a half. 675, 7. 7. How about 7 and a quarter and a half? 7 and a half. And a half. 75. You're going to go 75 each. 800 now each. And a quarter is 25 and a half. 850, you're going to go 50, 850, not 75. There's no 9. How about 9? How about 9? How about 9? That's 4. That's only 5 and a half. How about 9, 50, you're going to go 50, 50, and 50, 50, and now 75. And 75,000. And a thousand and a quarter. And the quarter, and the quarter, and the quarter, and here goes we. Soda time, 1,195. 195. Not before that. You said around 1,000. On the thousand. Sorry, you're fine. You said 3 and a quarter, 4 and a quarter. How about 4 and a quarter, the average hour and a half, 4 and a half, 75.
75.
In 5, and a quarter, and a half, and 75 and 6. 6, you want 6, that quarter, and a half, that's 75. How about 75, 7? How about 7 here and a quarter, 7 quarter, and a quarter, now half, 7 and a half, return. 7 and a half, 7 and a quarter. How about 7 half, that's 75, now 8. How about D, 800, now 8. How about 800, now 8, that quarter, 825 and a half. 850, outside at 845. 8 and a half, 875, no 9. Now about 9, let it go 9. How about 900 here, 9. Solar time, 875, 875, about 4. East of that, 170. All right, here comes. All right, guys, so what about it says to be 5. 4, 5, oh, we got 4, 5. 5 and a half, and 6. How about 6? 600 and a half. And 7. How about 7? We're gonna go 7. 675, 7. How about 7? How about quarter? I have 7 here, we get quarter. How about 7 quarter? 1 and a half, here we go. How about 750, 742, 750? And a 15, there go 50, 50, and I said it on mine for 7 and a quarter. All right, guys, so you can start out tonight. Pay your bills, get your shoulders out of the yard. We'll see you next Thursday. Okay.
Okay.
Sure.
It's old. I don't know. What's the number of the car? Was it five? Online buyer. Online buyer. Yeah. Oh. Thank you. Okay.
Hi. Hi, Susan. I was just wondering how auction process works. Yeah, because I know that each turkey should
Last 10 years, one that wins. That's how it works.
Can you see the vehicles ahead of time and
Yeah,
stuff?
you come in an hour before and look at it.
And they're in here or they're out
They're
there?
outside.
And then do you guys try and start it?
The ones that'll start, they start. The ones that don't, they're next couple of days.
Okay. And then how much is your deposit?
There'll be possible.
In full. In cash.
Cash or credit card.
Well, thank you so much.
Okay.
Well, that's it. It's a great one. Thank you.
Okay.
Was he 142?
He's 182. I saw the number 182. That's what he's got. I don't know if they even registered at 182. They must have if he's 183. If the guy doesn't come in,
183?
yeah. You might have misread it.
Well, you're assuming I can read.
Well, that's a big assumption on my part, huh? And on mine too.
Well, which one you guys can read?
Because we both have
Yeah, like
glasses,
this.
you know? I know.
I thought it was you.
That's it. Thank you, sir.